Rob squared.
Sorry, High Life. we can only afford Coors Light because your beer is so good. It's worth all the extra dough.
Right. It's actually
we don't have enough subscribers yet. So.
And they also don't even give me any free shit. I actually paid for the shirt.
Oh. And the beer too, huh?
Everything, yeah. God damn it, our sponsors don't do shit.
We pay for the goldfish too, don't we?
Free promotion, probably fucking lawsuits, but Rob squared. Let's go. All right, we're going through the recaps here.
Yeah.
We went through Thursday night. Now we're on to early Sunday.
Yep.
First game.
No Urban Meyer talk.
Yeah, no more Urban Meyer. I might bring him up once. Yeah. Redskins at Falcons. Well, this was an interesting game.
This was
shootout. Like, quiet shootout, right?
Yeah, I'm curious what you have to say, because I have an opinion on this one.
So, 34-30, the Redskins won, comeback fashion. I'm going to go with the Redskins first, as I always go with the road team. Redskins ran 67 snaps. Fantasy-wise, takeaways, there's not too much. J.D. McKissick had an awesome touchdown run to end the game. To pretty much seal the game.
No, yeah.
It was awesome. Like, it was a third and...
You're not wrong, yeah.
3rd and 6, and it was a 34-yard touchdown.
Awesome. They were going down to kick a field goal, and they ended up going down and scoring a touchdown because of that McKissick.
Yeah.
He scored a touchdown for him.
So Gibson found the end zone, but he was 14 for 63 for a touchdown, 8-yard long, and he played 55% of the snaps. McKissick played 40. The concerning thing for me is the toe injury that we talked about many times in this show. His snap share for the first 4 weeks, 65, 61, 57, 55. No, it's not much. It's not trending in the right direction.
But there's an obvious trend.
A little bit down.
Remember, I think last week we talked about this. There was a news report where the coach yeah, don't worry, he's going to play.
He didn't have to say it.
Our response is why?
Yeah, why are they?
We assumed he was going to play. Why is this a big deal?
Because he was practicing.
But now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's best for their team to keep him more fresh. And all the reports early on was he's just going to be a 3-down back. And McKissick is just more than capable and probably better at it than him. So why wouldn't they just play McKissick? 40% of the time, which is what they're doing, right? Turbo packages, third downs, when they're losing, which is a lot of the games. 40% of the game, right?
Yeah.
They're still going to play him. He's going to get the goal. He's fine. He's a fine front-end, middle-range RB2. But he was getting drafted as back in RB1.
Sam Gibson, yeah.
Yeah, and he's fine. I feel like he's still a buy.
So all right, before we dive too much more into it, I think it's a good point to... How do you envision the Washington football team's future going? What's the rest of 2021? What are they, 2-2 right now?
Yeah.
So what's the rest of the year look? They have 13 games left. What's the rest of it look like to you?
Like this game.
So just
madness.
Give me
madness.
Give me one broad stroke. What's their record?
Cocaine.
What's their record?
8-8 or 9-8, 8-9, 500.
So from here on out, they're going to
competitive. The word is cocaine. They're literally up and down, roller coaster. You're coming down, you're going up. We don't know, dude. This game was a perfect
example. I think this was an illusion
of...
I like Heineke, I do.
Yeah, they have some players, man.
But some of the throws that Heineke made were like...
He's got a weak arm.
No. I reminded me of Brett Favre.
You did say that, yeah.
Multiple times, but not in a good way.
Right, the bad Brett Favre, not the good
If it wasn't the Atlanta Falcons, that Brett Favre was getting pick six the other way.
I agree. But he's frisky, and I like to call the white quarterbacks frisky on this show. Yeah. That's what I do. I like him, and also Fitzpatrick. My concern is not with him at all.
Okay.
It's with the defense. So they were a top 5 consensus defense going into the year, last year, whatever. They also beat up on a lot of shitty quarterbacks. If you go through last year, they got a lot of backups.
The division
they got Andy Dalton with the Cowboys.
Yeah, they didn't have to worry about Dak at all.
Yeah, and not just that. Even the other games, they'd get backups because they're a 1 or 2 game injury.
Carson Wentz or Daniel Jones,
right?
Or
I'm not talking about their division. Even when they play another team, they'd have a backup for a game or two. So, but I do like the players in their defense. I don't know what Ron Rivera's doing.
I know you love Chase.
I love Chase. I just Sweat's good. I think they drafted. I can't think of the rookie's linebacker's name, but I feel like they have some players in that defense, and they're vastly underperforming right now. They have Landon Collins. They got some players, man.
And they're well coached.
So they'll be better. And that's why I said they're going to be 9-8, which is fine. They're 2-2 right now. This is what we're going to expect. But they're going to be fantasy relevant because they're actually playing in some high scoring games.
I think I guess the point I was trying to get to was be careful because I think coming off this win, this type of win especially, they're going to be overhyped. They are a bottom third team in the NFL right now. Like it or not, they are.
Yeah, I still think they're better than that, but
they're on their backup quarterback. They're pretty much on their backup running back.
Tight end's hurt.
Their tight end's gone. Their defense is underperforming.
Yeah.
And they won a few games they shouldn't have won.
They did get Curtis Samuel back.
They shouldn't have won the Giants game. They shouldn't have won the Falcons game. They should have lost to two of the worst teams.
They might have won one of the other games. I don't have it in front of me, but
they barely won.
So Logan Thomas did get hurt.
Yeah.
He's probably out next week. Ricky Seals-Jones, who had an amazing catch in the Giants game, played 93% of the snaps because he Thomas left the first fucking drive as a Thomas owner.
Yeah, I haven't won.
Samuel came back and only played 37% of the snaps, and that's just he had a groin injury. So yeah, he'll be fine. Don't panic on the numbers. It wasn't great. It was actually 4 for 19 on 4 targets.
And if you were relying on Samuel to come back and save your season, you're in trouble.
Give him 2 weeks. And then Ricky Seals-Jones had 4 targets, 2 for 19. If Thomas is out, I consider him streaming. It's not a big point of emphasis. I'd rather have Dawson Knox from these other guys, but I see the upside there because he can play.
If Thomas does play, I would not trust him to be a fantasy relevant player. I would trust him to be a decoy. It's a blocker. I wouldn't.
Logan Thomas this next week?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, we'd almost rather him to sit out a week.
I would. Yeah.
With a hamstring.
I would much rather. Yeah.
So the Falcons, there's really not much to cover. They have a pretty bland. Yeah. They actually ran 76 snaps, which is a lot. So they were on the field a lot. Cordell Patterson crushed ass. What is he? Number 2 running back right now? Is that right?
Yeah.
Or wide receiver, whatever he is. I mean.
So the way I take from that is the Falcons' offense is starting to tune up a little bit, and the guy that played 37% of the snaps happened to get all the touchdowns. So
actually, it was only 30%.
Oh,
wow! Davis played 67%. Patterson played 30%.
Okay.
So 30% of 76, off the top of my head, is about 23 snaps.
Yeah.
And he had 3 touchdowns.
22 and a half, actually.
There you go. So nice math. Don't buy Patterson. If they're don't trade for him. No, play him if you have him, I guess.
If anything, I would say look at Pitts and Ridley.
Yes,
because Ridley hasn't scored. I think he maybe scored 1 touchdown.
Maybe, bro. He had 13 targets in this game, though.
Yeah, no.
Pitts played 72% of the snaps and had 9 targets.
I like the Atlanta. Their offense came to life. Mm-hmm. That's what's important, and especially looking forward. You're looking at they're playing the Jets in London at 8:30 Sunday morning. The over/under opened at 42.
That's this week?
Yep.
We got an early game? Let's go. I love London games, baby.
Over/under started at 42.5. It's up to 46 now.
Wow.
So, in other words, they're expecting to go way over.
We get to start drinking at 9.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I get to be drinking coffee at 9 because I'm hungover probably from Saturday. But
you'll bring me another sandwich.
It'd be a great deal. All right, Texans Bills.
What you got?
Stinker.
Yeah, there's.
Stinker on one side, right?
I think this should be a quick one.
And, at the time, it was 17 all week, right? And usually the Sharps hit that shit, and it goes down to 15.5.
Actually, it went the other way. The Sharps hit the other way.
At game time, it went to 18.5. And we saw that, Red Zone came on. We saw the weather. Brutal. Raining. And we're like, you cannot lay 17 points in the rain.
Yeah.
And I tried betting it, and then the odds changed, and I was going to put $15 on it.
And the weather changed, too. As soon as you tried betting it, all of a sudden it was clear.
For a bit. But, dude, it was 40-0
It didn't matter what the weather was.
40-0.
It did not matter what the weather was.
So the Texans, real quick, just to encompass both teams, Texans ran 47 snaps, and the Bills only ran 63. Obviously, they were running out the clock towards the end.
Ooh.
This was
I just got
trash. So the Texans, Davis Mills was 11 of 21 for 87 yards and 4 picks.
Not the best rookie showing.
No.
I liked him too.
He looks really well in
Carolina. I liked him too in that it was a Thursday night game, right?
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah. He looked. I was rooting,
the rain.
I was rooting for the kid
at the Bills. Yeah, it's not a death knell for him, but so the Texans, real quick. There's really nothing. This is trash. But David Johnson did play 57% of the snaps, and Mark Ingram 21. Philip Lindsay 12. So Johnson went 6 for 24. Nothing.
So the opposite of what happened last week, and the opposite of what happened the week
nothing.
before.
Don't
the opposite
run. Don't play any. David Johnson, if you're in the deepest league ever and you're desperate.
Cooks or nothing.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks 87%, Conley 87, Anthony Miller 74. So if anything, I like Anthony Miller. But Anthony Miller had 5 targets, 1 catch for 3 yards. So not Miller.
No,
He's
that's
out.
fine. He also had 6 targets and 2 touchdowns the week before.
He did. Chris Conley definitely no. And if anything happened to Cooks, trade, injury, whatever, possibly.
Well, Buffalo.
Possibly.
What do you got for Buffalo?
I got Buffalo. Well, I got Zach Moss for Buffalo. So also,
Who?
you know,
Who? I think a lot of
Zach
people.
Moss.
Seems like a lot of people forgot about that man after week 1.
Well, because he was inactive because he was
Trust
he
me,
wasn't starting.
I heard about it.
Yeah, by a couple people.
Yeah.
So Josh Allen, you know, played well for the rain. We shit on him for bad weather games. 20 and 29, 248, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. This is why I was scared of Josh Allen this year, is because the team's great. They're going to run the ball. They're going to have rushing touchdowns, and he's going to play well in real life. But that's not a good fantasy game.
I'm looking so much forward to their upcoming matchup against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good.
Fun game. I mean,
well, I think that's a gauge. Like if they can come out and
just compete. They don't got to win. I mean, right?
Handicapping it, just watching the teams. The Buffalo should be a 7-point favorite.
Wow.
I love Buffalo in the game. To me, Buffalo should the Chiefs have no defense. Like watching them against, I was uncomfortable how nervous I was with them against the Eagles.
At some points, yes.
Like there was
my tease. They can move 7 points. You don't like?
I did not like the tease that you sent me, so I didn't have the. I said, yeah. Well, no, I like the way you teased it. Of course I like the Chiefs plus points. And I like whoever else plus points. But
you would rather have the Bills plus 10?
Based on my personal handicapping,
okay,
which is not 100% accurate.
Well,
like I don't pretend it to be.
Well, no, you like the Raiders this week, so that was clearly not the case.
Well,
shove the one game you lose in your face.
Almost was the case.
But so for the running backs, though, we need to talk about is Zach Moss.
Yeah,
pound it. Let's do a little Rob Square. Let's do a cheers in this one. Let's go, dude.
One
of our guys. 56%. Singletary 44, and Zach Moss was 14 for 61 with a tutty. Actually, Singletary was 14 for 79, but he fumbled again. Didn't lose it. But, dude, the man has fucking 4 fumbles in 4 games. He's only lost 1 of them.
4 fumbles, 4 games, and 9 lives. Because apparently he can't lose his job.
Fucking goddamn cat.
Exactly.
And the thing is, he's also a bad
cat. He's a little Singletary. He's a little Singletary. He's a little kitty cat.
He's a bad pass blocker. What else can Zach Moss do? And here's the thing. Snapshare tells you
this. He scored like 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games?
Oh, he has 4 touchdowns in the year now, in 3 games.
Okay, 4.
So, 1, he had 2, 1, and 1. But, so he has back-to-back games of 50% snapshare. Singletary last 2 games, 44 and 43. So, clearly they're playing Zach Moss more. And I feel like Singletary, the nice thing is that when the game got real out of hand, that's when they kind of put Singletary in. Right?
Also,
it's like the preseason thing when the third quarter comes about, Singletary's playing. What does that mean? Zach Moss is the guy they want on the field when it counts.
With the first offense.
And I'll agree that Singletary is probably more of the third down back. So if they have turbo packages,
not if he's fumbling all the time.
Right. So, dude, Zach Moss, baby. Like, I would say buy low at this point because I think they have a couple easy games. After the Chiefs game, they have some nice matchups. Every matchup's going to be nice for him because the Bills are good.
Yeah.
They're going to be winning most games. And
Josh Allen's rushing for as many touchdowns.
So wide receiver-wise...
They're handing the ball off a lot more, right? That's what we're saying.
Right. Wide receiver-wise, Diggs had a nice bounce back, but no touchdown again. 7 for 114. Sanders, 5 for 74. Dawson Knox, though.
Beasley is still unvaccinated. So.
And Beasley, after that, was it 11 catches or whatever?
He sent out a tweet complaining about how he gets booed more at home because he's unvaccinated.
Right. Well, hey, get vaccinated then. Coming from 2 guys that aren't, we're not in the NFL, and whatever. Is our producer Brad? Are you going to make us get?
No, he left with rye bread. They went to go to get a massage.
Yeah. God damn it. They did. Dawson Knox, though. Well, real quick though, Cole Beasley 2 for 16 after that huge game. That's why Cole Beasley is insane to start because he does these things.
Maybe full PPR
against the Chiefs. I like Cole Beasley probably. Because, that's the kind of game flow.
He gets a ton of targets.
When they're losing, especially. So, Dawson Knox, 8 targets, 5 for 37, and 2 tutties. So, last 3 games, Dawson Knox. So, 83, 78, 81% snap share. So, he's playing the snaps. He's getting the red zone targets. He has, 4 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
Happy I have him in quite a bit of best balls. I feel like he's a pickup now. The second you pick him up, he's going to go, 2 for 15.
So, here's... I was chomp at the bit to say this part. I think moving forward, I'm not going to, when it comes to tight ends, any of these guys that flicker up,
Right.
like it has to be a 6-game minimum for me.
Yes.
Like I'm not going to base it off 3-4 games. Like good for you.
It shouldn't.
Good for you. Like great, good for Knox and all the people that drafted him. But if you're talking about like a season long guy and you're not talking about Hawkinson, if you're not talking about Waller or Kelsey,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything you have to say about the tight ends. So if you're trying to stream them, that's a good guy to go pick up. But
yeah, the point is, if you have Pitts, if you have Andrews, do not pick. You can pick up Knox if you want. Do not play Knox. I know the matchup looks nice against KC. Do not play Knox over Andrews or Pitts because you drafted those guys for a reason.
If you're doing that, if you're going to do that, the name recognition for Pitts and Andrews is
trade them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
you're not bench.
You're not benching those guys where you drafted.
You're still getting 9 targets from Pitts. He's going to catch touchdowns.
You drafted him to start.
Right?
You drafted those guys as a plug and play. Like I drafted Waller in the 2nd round simply because I don't have to worry about it until he's hurt. Like,
and it hasn't been that bad with Pitts and Andrews and these guys, Hawkinson. Like it's been a little bit of a bumpy ride. It's tight end. It's going to be bumpy.
Yeah,
and there are people like, with Dawson Knox, it's not a bumpy ride. Just wait for his 2 for fucking 12.
That's what I'm saying. Give me 6 games.
Yeah.
Then Knox, I'll be like, all right, maybe Knox is now at that level.
It ain't gonna happen.
But, there's tiers of these things. There's levels of these things, and if you think that Knox
like Kramer, right? Levels.
Yeah.
Building levels. Right?
Yeah.
With pillars.
If you think that Knox is at that level yet, not yet.
We got 4 things to throw here. Paper toss. All right.
You go first. First.
Oh, let's go!
Ah! Let's go.
My last one was right on there.
I short armed. I short armed that last. Dude, I gator armed that last one for sure.
All right, Lions Bears. I like the kind of rapid fire thing. That's sweet.
The sounds are nice.
Oh, it's so nice. All right, Lions Bears. Bears won 24-14. Surprising, shocker. After
they were favored.
Yeah, I'm just talking about after the game last week, and the Lions are frisky.
Yeah.
So Lions ran 71. Oh, sorry, Bears. Yeah, Bears ran 58 snaps. Lions ran 71 snaps. Lions are one of the leaders in snaps run this year.
It was a tale of 2 halves.
For sure.
It's
they
always
came back.
It's always a tale of 2
kind of
halves.
similar to the Chargers Raiders game.
Always a tale of 2
right?
halves with Detroit.
So what's crazy about this game is Jamal Williams kind of outplayed Swift in terms of the stat sheet. Right? Like Williams had 14 for 66, Swift had 8 for 16.
No, Detroit's backs were both.
Williams didn't have a catch. Swift had 4 for 33 with 6 targets. But, obviously you're looking at the rushing. The
that's his basement. That's why he's more of an RB2 than
Swift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's borderline RB1.
Right, because the PPR, especially PPR.
This is probably going to be his worst game of the year.
But here's the thing: is Swift played 73%, Williams played 30%. So somehow in the 30% Williams played, he got 14 fucking carries.
Here's the funny thing: is 90% of the red zone, it was all Jamal.
All Jamal Williams.
I never saw.
So every play that the red zone had was Jamal Williams.
Exactly.
But now I'm looking at this, and obviously because Swift was playing a lot of the catch-up ball, right, where they weren't playing that game. But it's just weird. I didn't see Swift in the field in red zone. And then I'm looking at this. I thought it'd be 50-50. Didn't you think it was 50-50, though, at the end of the day?
I would have thought 70-30 the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, crazy, right?
Well, that's why Jamal started again. He starts every game.
Well, yeah, for the honorary series. But what the funny is the report just came out that Swift's going to be more involved. Remember that report on Roto World?
I know the report you're about to quote.
Bullshit. Right.
The thing is, here, one report, let me say about, if you're a Swift owner in fantasy, do not freak out because one report came from the head coach that Swift is going to get more involved. Mm-hmm. And the report that just came out today that it's going to be more of a rotation or situational.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That is from the beat writers.
Oh, yeah. Fuck the beat writers.
So just make sure you read the source. Just because it's posted underneath their fantasy name, it just,
Right.
It's a beat writer's opinion versus what the head coach said.
So on the wide receiver front, it's pretty barren. It's not great.
Yeah.
But Cephas...
how'd he do, actually?
He didn't have 5 targets, 4 for 83, 33-yard long. But Cephas played 87% of the snaps.
That's nice.
He's trending up.
Yeah.
He's the bigger play guy. Raymond had the 2 touchdowns. 6 targets, 3 for 46, 2 touchdowns. He played 75. And St. Brown actually had a nice showing.
Yeah.
I heard the announcer talking about how he was looking frisky, right?
He apparently had a couple
really nice 8 targets, 6 for 70. That's what we kind of expected from him.
A grinder game, yeah.
So Tyrell Williams is out, and we haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, concussion week 1.
Right, and he's had many in his career. So, I feel like they just might move on from him. Let's hope he does, right?
Williams feels like the embodiment of what we expect from Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
a tall, skinny, guy that when he's out there, you're like, wow, that guy's big.
Makes some good plays, but
he's always hurt.
Right.
It feels like that's what we expect from him.
So let's just go to this little fantasy land that I'm talking about here, this fantasy world of imagination, fantasy. Let's just go on the assumption that Tyrell Williams isn't playing again this year.
Okay.
Because they had, remember, preseason was Rashard Perriman, who they released, and Tyrell were the 1 and 2.
Okay.
And that's why I like St. Brown, because I feel like he had the role, and he has the role he has now. But right now, apparently, it's Raymond and Cephas. Raymond is a quicker, faster, poor man's Tyreek Hill. That role, right?
I know you're
and Cephas is more the bigger body.
You're trying to distance yourself from that
role.
Yeah.
That role.
You're not trying to compare the comparison.
Yes. Not the player, but the role.
But the idea is the same.
Smaller guy.
Idea is the same. Yeah.
Thank you. Cephas is more of the bigger body. I'm not going to say Kenny Galladay, but
Mike Williams.
There you go. A little faster than those guys, not quite as big.
Tyrell was the
was it Cephas?
Keenan Allen.
Allen. Yeah. And let's just go on the assumption that, Tyrell's gone. So Cephas, I feel like, has the juice.
I agree.
And Raymond had the 2 touchdowns. I feel like Cephas had a touchdown.
I think he has the trust.
So if you had to own one of these receivers, who do you want? You want Cephas. I want Cephas as well. Number 2, you want Raymond or St. Brown?
St. Brown.
These are for deep leagues.
I think Cephas in a 14-team, 2 flex, full PPR.
Right, you could do way worse.
Detroit Lion gets one.
NFC North only keeper league.
Yeah, I think Cephas is a real.
And St. Brown, if you're an NFC North rookie league,
you gotta take a look at Cephas.
No, these are guys to keep an eye on because mostly here's the point.
Performing. Yeah,
is if one of right now it's these 3. Okay. Right now, it's kind of, they're pillaging each other. Now, let's say Khalif Raymond gets hurt. And then week 6, you just have Cephas St. Brown. I do like Cephas. Because you can guarantee 9 targets,
Williams is going to come back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
We'll see. We haven't heard anything.
Let's make the assumption he does.
Why would they bring him back,
though? But let's make the assumption he does.
Then all of them are trash.
Well, no. I think Cephas is the one safe spot then. Cephas is the guy that, regardless of what happens, either he's going to be the main guy or the secondary guy, right?
Let's just hope he doesn't. And then real quick, T.J. Hawkinson, a lot of the owners have been frustrated by him.
Yeah, he's not going to be a top 3 tight end every single week. I'm sorry.
So here's his targets first 4 games. Week 1 to 4. 11, 9, 2, 8. Catches, 8, 8, 2, 4. Touchdown his first 2 games and no touchdowns the last 2, which has been disappointing. But still, the man has 22 targets in 4 games. That's solid for tight end. Where you got him, keep him. Don't panic. Do not pick up Dawson Knox or fucking Hopkins.
But the thing about those 22 targets is I would guess that over 50%. All right, I'll call it 52%. I'm just going to throw out a number.
Yeah.
Slightly over 50% are third or crucial goal line targets. They're not
money targets.
Exactly. They're not artificial. They're not inflated targets. They're not garbage time. All right, they're giving us free 20 yards. Here's a little dump off. It's not that type of yards. Those are crucial. We're trying to score. We're trying to get back in this game. We're trying to win this game. Targets.
I agree.
So with Hawkinson, that's the guy you want outside of Swift.
All right, we have Bears here. So they ran 58 snaps because they were winning in the game, and it was pretty early onslaught. And one big note here: there's not many with the Bears. There's not really a fantasy relevant team. David Montgomery. Now it looked like a clear ACL or season-ending injury when it happened. And we watched it. Apparently, it's just a knee sprain. He's out 4 to 5 weeks. I would probably say 5 weeks. Either way, a significant time.
It reminds me of last year. He had the groin injury.
Mm-hmm. He came back early.
Well, it was a 5-week, 6-week prognosis, and he came back after 3 weeks, and it was ineffective. And the bye week happened, and then exploded.
Mm-hmm. So the relevance of that is we have Damian Williams, who Super Bowl hero for the Chiefs, Actually played real well. He had 8 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. 2 catches for 15 yards. So he was actually super effective. Obviously, it was all, when they were leading from ahead. He's the number 1 handcuff guy. Okay. Nice note there. And then we have Khalil Herbert, who was the Khalil Herbert, who played. So here's a snapshot.
Are you going to pick up? Where are you going to pick up Herbert?
No, but here's the snapshot. In case, the thing is, it's a 5-week injury. So keep an eye on him, because if Williams gets hurt, there's Herbert.
Who was the guy
Tariq Cohen is out. They did trade for Jakeem Grant, but he's a wide receiver. So Williams played 19 snaps. Herbert played 7. It's not going to be 100% Damian Williams. Herbert's going to be sprinkled in, and I liked him in the preseason.
You know what is 100% is the Bears' offense is going to be trash the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So
Damian Williams still a pickup, right? Back end RB2. Use a waiver claim on him right now. If you're 2-2 right now and you need running back,
simply because of the expected usage. I don't think the production is going to be there.
But
it may be. It's it reminds me of Latavius Murray. When I picked him up, I'm hoping he's going to have a week like he did this week, so I can get rid of him. Right.
I just feel like he's more valuable than Chuba Hubbard was, and I would use a number 1 on him because it's 2 to 3 weeks. This is for sure 4 to 5. So
I just think the offense is going to go away from the run. Because Andy Dalton's coming back probably next week, right?
Okay, one other note on the Bears. There's not much. So real quick though, Allen Robinson, 3 targets, 3 for 63. It's rough.
So no, this is the point. This is where I was getting around to. Yeah, is they're not going to run as much because Montgomery looked like one of the best runners in the league.
Looks pretty good.
Tough. One of the better runners. Him and Josh Jacobs. Just put him behind a good offensive, the Dallas' offensive line.
Yes.
Let's see what happens then. But unfortunately, they're on the Bears and the Colts, right? So they're playing behind in that quarterback play right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the backup running back for the Bears, I'm not too excited. When it comes to Allen Robinson, I'm really excited.
Buy low.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, Darnell Mooney had 7 targets, 5 for 125. And on the show last week, I told you to drop Mooney, which is, not aging well.
No, that's encouraging because, if you're looking at the Bears receiving game, you want those type of numbers from someone. And Allen Robinson is in a contract year.
Yeah.
If you don't think he's going to start commanding those numbers,
give it to him.
I'm just thinking, all I'm going to say,
he had 3 targets, but
we love contract year guys.
We do. And Justin Fields was 11 for 17, so he threw the ball 17 times and 209 yards passing. So that's 12.3 yards per attempt. No touchdowns on a pick. The pick was kind of bogus. But, yeah. So, one last little quick thing. Cole Kmet, I talked about him last week. He has to pee. He's ready. We're passing love letters here.
I have to pee.
Really bad. Pee. Oh, you have a pee.
2 P's.
Was Cole Kmet a pee?
It's...
Okay, so Cole Kmet played 98% of the snaps. And, last week you said maybe it was because of the game flow and they wanted a blocker.
Yeah.
He's the starting tight end, and what he did was 1 for 6. So not great. But
the Bears offense, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying if you want deep shit, you never know.
No, I think Kmet is a buy low guy.
Gonna play.
I think Kmet's a buy low guy.
Well, no, I got to pick up on the way. He was started last week by a lot of guys, but don't panic by the numbers.
That's my point. Is Andy Dalton's going to come back? The passing game's going to jump up, where the rushing game's going to go down. Yeah. So those short games, there's going to be a lot more receptions.
And don't panic by the numbers. Look at the snap share. Go ahead.
If you have to pee, just throw and go.
All right. Scored.